What if the next economic crisis didn't start in China, nor on Wall Street, but in Canada? Unlikely? Maybe. But according to the OECD, Canada could become the slowest growing advanced economy over the next 3 decades. How did a country once hailed for its resilience and prosperity become a warning sign for the rest of the developed world? Today, we'll uncover the unraveling of the Canadian economic model, how an economy once praised for stability is now flirting with stagnation, and more importantly, is there still time to turn the tide? For much of the early 21st century, Canada was viewed as a beacon of sound policy and economic balance. Natural resources, abundant. Demographics, dynamic. Education system, highly developed. Its banking sector, one of the most stable in the world. While the U.S. financial system imploded during the 2008 subprime crisis, Canada's big 6 banks, especially Royal Bank of Canada, stood firm. In fact, not a single major Canadian bank collapsed. The last failure dates back to 1996. From 2000 to 2015, the country's GDP soared by 143%. Exports surged thanks to global demand for commodities, particularly from China. And its capital markets thrived. Toronto's stock exchange became the 6th most active in the world. With a public debt under control and inflation well anchored, Canada even became the go-to model for post-crisis economic recovery. By 2015, it was the 9th largest economy on Earth, with a per capita GDP above $51,000 USD. A haven of prosperity, or so it seemed. That same year marked a major turning point. In late 2015, Justin Trudeau, young, progressive, charismatic, assumed office as Prime Minister. He promised a new era of inclusivity, infrastructure renewal, and economic stimulus. But reality hit hard, and fast. Global oil prices plummeted from over $100 to below $30 per barrel. Alberta, Canada's energy powerhouse, was shaken. Tax revenues shrank, unemployment in the sector spiked, and growth slowed. To counteract the downturn, the Trudeau administration increased public spending, breaking with Canada's long-held commitment to fiscal balance. The strategy was clear: borrow now, grow later. But later never really came. Then, in 2020, the pandemic struck. In response, Trudeau's government launched massive support programs. The federal deficit ballooned from $50 billion to over $300 billion in a single year. Yes, it helped avoid mass bankruptcies, but it also lit the fuse for long-term inflation. From mid-2021, prices began to surge. Food costs rose by 25% in 2 years. Housing prices by 20%. To contain inflation, the Bank of Canada raised its benchmark rate aggressively, from near zero in 2022 to 5% by mid-2023. The result? An economy under pressure, consumer spending under strain, and borrowing costs sky high. Let's take a snapshot of Canada today, mid-2025. GDP growth? Down to just 0.7%. The OECD predicts Canada will trail all other advanced economies for the next 30 years. Productivity is stagnant. Business investment is weak. And despite low unemployment, real wages are struggling to keep pace with inflation. The federal debt? In 2019, it was $530 billion. By 2024, it hit $921 billion. Interest payments alone this year will cost $39.6 billion, 120% more than just 5 years ago. Canada's debt-to-GDP ratio remains below the US and France. But the trajectory is alarming, and the government's own projections show it surpassing $1 trillion by 2028. At the same time, corporate bankruptcies are rising. Households are over-leveraged. Many took on massive mortgages during the housing boom, only to be squeezed now by rising interest rates. And investors, they're getting nervous. Canada ranks 5th globally for tax burden. Citizens are taxed on global income, regardless of where they reside. Add to that climate volatility, infrastructure degradation, and geopolitical frictions, and the once stable maple tree starts to look increasingly fragile. Canada's problems are not just cyclical, they're structural. Demographics are shifting rapidly. In 2022, 1 in 5 Canadians was over 65. By 2068, seniors will make up 29% of the population, placing heavy pressure on public finances and healthcare. To maintain population growth, the government has turned to mass immigration. It now accounts for 2/3 of the population increase. But open borders come with challenges: social integration, infrastructure strain, and rising political tensions. Then comes climate change. Wildfires, extreme cold, floods, and droughts are no longer occasional events. They are becoming a persistent, costly reality. The Canadian Climate Institute estimates that climate-related damage will cost the economy $13.6 billion USD per year, just for infrastructure losses. Add healthcare, disaster relief, and insurance burdens, and the figure skyrockets. And the government? It plans to spend $25 billion this year on subsidies and aid to mitigate the crisis, with no clear roadmap for the future. Canada's external relationships are also becoming increasingly strained. Tensions with China have been brewing since 2018, particularly after Canada blocked Huawei from its telecom infrastructure. Relations with U.S. conservatives are fragile. Donald Trump has publicly criticized Trudeau in the past, calling him dishonest and weak. And at home, provinces like Alberta and Saskatchewan openly oppose Trudeau's environmental regulations, arguing that they undermine their economic lifeblood, fossil fuels. Meanwhile, Trudeau's domestic approval ratings have steadily eroded. Photo scandals, perceived authoritarianism during protests, and accusations of woke overreach have all chipped away at his support base. Even within his own party, some quietly question whether he still has the mandate to lead Canada through its most complex economic moment in decades. And here lies the central problem. Canada needs reform, deep, structural, courageous reform. But with a politically weakened leadership and a fractured national consensus, who will deliver it? In just 10 years, Canada has shifted from model student to cautionary tale. Debt-fueled spending, a collapsing productivity base, unaffordable living costs, and growing geopolitical risks are pushing the country into a slow-motion decline. And unless bold, bipartisan reforms are enacted soon, the consequences may go well beyond its borders. Because what happens in Canada, a G7 nation, resource powerhouse, and major trading partner, won't stay in Canada. So, how far can the fall go? That's a question investors, policymakers, and everyday citizens should be asking, now more than ever. If you want to go deeper into this topic, please don't hesitate to subscribe. We'll see you very soon with insights that could reshape how you protect and grow your portfolio. Stay curious, stay sharp, and most of all, stay informed.